are loaded on into Frost, guys. And in the bottom left spawn location, representing Team Dignitas, he is the hometown hero. He is going to be our red Protoss player, dBlinG. And spawning opposite him, cross spawns in the top right spawn location. We have our blue Protoss player representing Team Fnatic. It is going to be the man who is one game away from making the winner bracket finals. It is Harstem.
So, you have got to get into a very clear mindset after losing game 1 of a best of 3. And that is to forget game number 1. There wasn't really, in my opinion, anything there. dBlinG can sit and look out and go, I should have done this different.
Yeah, the build just didn't work. That's just all it was.
He didn't make any big control mistakes. He didn't make any big slip-ups. It was just bad choice of build. So all you do in game number 2 is you go, I'm not going to do that build again, and things can only go better for me. And I think if dBlinG plays a bit more straight up, a bit more of a standard build order, he could get himself into a very nice position, and it'll be a much closer game.
For sure, and I mean, both these guys are excellent Protoss players from Europe, and 2 of the best Protoss players that Europe has right now, definitely top 10 Europe at least. And this could be a really excellent game. Frost is a map where we often see some longer PvP games, some of the Colossus Wars really happening, and stuff like that is really quite commonplace on this map. So I personally would love to see a longer game here, but it's always possible that you see a kind of one-base cheese coming out. But with double gas and no early gateways coming out, it looks pretty macro-based from both guys. For now.
For now, but then game number 1 did look pretty macro-based as well as things started. Harstem's pylon off to the edge here can always lead to some sneaky stuff coming through. And the reason you put a pylon at the edge if you are going to be grabbing some tech, which I suspect Harstem will do with the 6 probes and gas, is that when the probe scout comes in from the natural, it's very unlikely that they'll scout up to the very top left first. They'll come down the middle patch, try and get around the back, and then they may come and check over here, but it's not going to be their first port of call. And as you said, Penguin, seconds make difference.
Absolutely, and those seconds can be just the amount of time it takes for the Mothership Core to pick off the scout, anything like that. And you know, I would not be too shocked to see a Twilight Council come down from Harstem and DTs for him, because he did that against Boombox as well. As a response to having DTs used against him in game 1, he went DTs, and that is something that he does do every now and then. But it is going to be a Stargate coming out of Harstem here. The Stargate is going to be planted down there. Mothership Core is on the way for both guys right now. We're still waiting to see what dBlinG wants to do tech-wise.
But he's not invested as heavily in gas. dBlinG has only got 4 probes. So that's why we're seeing the earlier tech out of Harstem with that Stargate. dBlinG could expand off the back of this. We're also waiting to see whether he opts to get a sentry or something out first, which is another viable way to go. But dBlinG expanding a lot sooner, and this is the sacrifice you make by getting 6 probes in gas. You get tech sooner, but an expansion later. It's a trade-off.
Yeah, and it's one of those things where, like, sometimes it'll pay off, sometimes it won't. You have to just really judge what you think the best call is going to be based on what you think your opponent is going to do here. And we do see a Stargate follow-up for dBlinG, which could honestly be kind of disastrous for him if Harstem goes straight into Phoenixes, and they both go to Phoenixes.
The way I like to think of it is, you know, in like RPG games, you get that little triangle slider between like strength, intelligence, and agility. It's like you've got your tech and upgrades, your economy, and your standing army. And that's what these two are trying to balance out now, is where they put that little slider. Harstem's put it all the way over to his upgrades or tech and standing army right now, sacrificing a bit of economy. Whereas dBlinG, he's focusing on getting that great economy down.
Very good analogy there, and we do see the expansion coming out now for Harstem, but it's a full minute later. So, okay, Phoenix is coming out for dBlinG, and actually, because of the Oracle coming out first, Harstem is going to be behind on the Phoenixes even if he starts right now, and this Oracle is going to do nothing, Maddles. He sacrificed a lot of economy to get this Oracle out, and it will do nothing.
Make your 1 probes. It depends if it's suicides. If it's suicides, then he'll get a couple of worker kills. Unless it's seen straight away.
Here we go. And yeah, it's a light unit. It takes extra damage from the Phoenixes, and surprisingly, it will get a couple of kills. 2 kills so far. 3 kills, I think. Not worth it. Nowhere near worth it, unfortunately. And now, Harstem is starting Phoenix production and a second Stargate. So he wants to take to the skies, which is going to be hard since he's behind in Phoenixes to start. But with the second Stargate coming in, eventually he'll catch up and then take a big leap. He's got to survive until then, though.
The downside, though, is dBlinG, he's transitioning. He's got the robotics facility now out. He's got the better economy. He's up by only a single probe, but you've got to remember, his Nexus has been out sooner. So important to note. Probe transfer coming through, though, from Harstem. His Phoenix production getting ramped up. Photon Overcharge being forced by Harstem to prevent blinG's Phoenix from killing a couple of probes.
Yeah, and more importantly, they can't actually chase the other Phoenixes, because if you can keep your opponent's Phoenix count low, that's basically game in Phoenix versus Phoenix. So Harstem doing a good job just trying to buy as much time. He will have one Phoenix less until these couple of Phoenixes pop out from the newly acquired double Stargate. He also really, really wants blinG to not be able to see this, but blinG has cut Phoenix production, so he's not investing as heavily into this air battle. He's stopping at the 3 he currently has, and from there, he's going into. He's got a Twilight about to finish. He could go into Templar immediately for Archons, which will do exceptionally well if they can get under the Phoenixes. And it is going to be blinG, and blinG Stalkers as well can be very, very good at picking off stray Phoenixes.
This robotics facility only pumped out by blinG to get the Observer. That was its only purpose right now. So Harstem taking a big Phoenix count lead. He's up at 5 compared to the 3 of blinG, soon to make it 7. And it's going to be really, really tense.
Yeah, the 3 Phoenixes for blinG are almost irrelevant in a straight up fight now. But he can do some cute little counterattack stuff, dart on in, try to pick off some probes, do some scouting, stuff like that. And Harstem, he's got to be careful not to overcommit to Phoenixes, because Phoenixes are good and all, but they don't actually shoot down. So if they run out of energy and there's nothing on the ground for him, he's just going to get steamrolled. So he's really got to be careful. He's got to add on a couple more gateways for sure. He's sitting on 1 gateway at the moment, which isn't ideal for a situation like this.
Especially when blinG is adding in 4 more gates and blinG.
Yeah. That's going to take blinG up to a total of 6 gateways, I want to say? 6 gates, yeah.
6 gates and blinG Stalkers. That is a huge amount of Stalkers. The Phoenix aren't going to be effective against that, because not only have they got limited energy, as you said, to the left, so they can actually attack the Stalkers, but Stalkers are armored, so don't take the bonus damage, and the Stalkers can fight back very easily with blinG. And there's nothing really on the ground for Harstem.
Well, we do have Harstem coming on in here with the Phoenixes, not really caring about the Photon Overcharge, just killing off as much as he possibly can. The Mothership Core will go down as well. So losing a Phoenix, not the biggest deal in the world, and it looks like only 1 Phoenix actually went down, so it's trade there for Harstem, who now moves into the natural. There's no overcharge here. He's going to be able to pick off so much, but at the same time, he's using all of his energy on probes. There's nothing to defend this blinG Stalker counter push.
There's Void Rays being chrono boosted out, 2 at a time. I reckon if 4 can get out, and Harstem can hold until there's 4 Void Rays, he's got a shot. But just look at the number of Stalkers. There's 17 Stalkers v 1 and 2 sentries for Harstem. I don't think he's going to be able to get enough Void Rays in time.
He kind of just has to sacrifice the natural, which is a terrible thing to say in a position like this, but the overcharge goes down in the main. He will lose his Mothership Core. Overcharge has already been used, though. Here come the Void Rays. They will be able to charge on up here, but with the Phoenixes and the Stalkers, they're being focused down so quickly. Guardian Shield going to be able to keep him alive just a little bit longer, but in come the Phoenixes here for Harstem. He does have the energy to lift up a couple of these Stalkers. Guardian Shield going down for blinG, but it's not really covering anything here. Harstem is up in supply, but it's very, very even here. The Void Ray continuing to do a lot of damage at the back of this, and the probes are continuing to fall, but it looks like Harstem may have what it takes to hold on.
But he's lost so many probes. Even though he did a ton of damage to blinG's economy, he's lost 30 workers compared to killing 22. That takes the current count 16 to 32 in blinG's favor. Massive, massive lead for blinG right now.
Yeah, Harstem forced to pull entirely out of gas here just to get as much mineral income as he possibly can. The Void Rays here are still going to be a threat to be reckoned with another one coming out to join this. The charge goes on down. The Prismatic Alignment has been used. 1 Void Ray already focused down. A second one is going to go down as well. Some of the Stalkers will fall here, and the Zealots as well on the retreat may lose some hit points. Harstem, though, looking in a worse and worse spot here. The Phoenixes are trying to get enough energy, but GG well played is called, and blinG will tie up the series 1-1.
And you've got to give a ton of credit to blinG for that game, because he made such a right decision. It's so easy for players to see that big group of Phoenix coming in, harassing your main and your natural, and go, I better defend. I better not die right now. But blinG, confident that if there's that many Phoenix, there's no way Harstem's going to be able to defend this push, marches boldly across the map and just says, I'm going to take the fight to you. Good luck taking me head on. Wins him the game, levels out the series, and we have got a real fight on our hands to decide who's going to be advancing to the next round of the upper bracket and who is going to be relegated down to the lower bracket to battle to stay in the tournament.